Welcome back. It's 13-10 New England.
Professor, now I've been looking all day at. What is this yellow tie? You're known for wearing your red
You haven't
ties.
heard about it. You don't. One of the 10 best dressed men in sports voted last year. This man, and he doesn't know that yellow is the new power color.
It certainly jumps right out at me.
Electric here in the booth today.
Never believe it.
Hey, you're looking pretty good yourself. A new tie, new sweater, the whole works. It's
well,
good.
we clean up all right. Pete Brock said, "You think I can get cleaned up like this after I quit playing?" I said, "No." No.
Power color, yellow. Now here, the color is orange, the Orange Crush, and they've got their bright pom-poms, the fans here trying to cheer the Broncos from behind, and this third quarter has belonged to Denver. Wilhite turning the corner and toppled at the 38. Jim Bowman made the tackle.
We've talked quite a bit about Joe Collier, the defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. His counterpart on the far side of the field, Rod Rust, also one of the most respected of defensive coordinators, has really used a little more aggressive tactics this year in utilizing his troops. And I asked him why, and he said, well, I don't want to stand in their way. He said, it's important for me to let them use that great talent that they have.
Winder trying to get outside, gets around Tippett, steps out of bounds at the 42-43 yard line, and that'll be good enough for a first down if it's the 43. Ernest Gibson, fifth defensive back, number 43, made the tackle.
Andre Tippett, his job is to stop things on the corner. Clarence Kay, 88, blocking on Tippett. Tippett stretching things out, but couldn't get off the block in time to stop Sammy Winder, who did a good job of turning the corner there.
Now the Patriots owned the ball the first half, 21 minutes to 9. Look at it the second half. It's been Denver here in the third period, and they've got another 4 downs coming. Wilhite, 50, 40, 38-yard line, and it's first down Denver.
Coming right at Andre Tippett. They ran around him on the last play. They're able to seal off number 99, Ben Thomas, on the inside on this play. Thomas is right there. You see Lanier closing in on him. All the pressure is on Tippett, and Tippett thought the play was going outside. Tried to dive back inside because the defensive end had not moved out into his position. There was a big hole inside.
Gerald Wilhite, who had 91 yards rushing against Eagles last week, his career high, reeling off 19 on that spin from the 38. Sewell likes to throw, fakes the throw, and out of bounds at the 39. That may be, if he doesn't see the man wide open immediately, he's to tuck it away and not make a mistake with it. Ben Thomas, 99, got him out of bounds.
I asked Dan Reeves about those gimmick plays, and he smiled. He said, those are not gimmick plays, those are special plays, and we usually have several of them in. He said, we know that we have a couple of running backs that throw the football well, and he said those plays are always in. Of course, earlier this year they had a pass thrown to Elway for a touchdown in the Raider game, and of course the famous double pass now that was not allowed, that went for a touchdown against Pittsburgh.
A loss of a yard on that one. 2nd and 11. Tipped away from Clarence Kay as Lawrence McGrew made a fine play. Kay was waving to Elway. I'm wide open here, but McGrew with those long arms, he's 6'5", was able to deflect it to the ground. New York Jets trying to go 3-1. Raiders by 1 after 3 straight losses and a close one at the Coliseum. And Atlanta has scored on a Gerald Riggs run in the final seconds of the third period at Tampa Bay. Cut the lead to 6.
Last year's Outland Trophy winner Mike Ruth on the field now, finally getting a chance to play a little bit.
Number 65. 3rd and 11. Elway gets away from Blackman, and it's Clint Sampson with a catch. You see a flag down. Sampson, if it's allowed, has a first down.
I think it's going to be offensive interference. Elway is upset.
It is. Clint Sampson. Ball appeared to go off his chest. He was able to pull it back in, but perhaps we can see what the foul was. Well, that's 2 key penalties in this quarter.
Interference. Number 84 on the offense. Still 3rd down.
Of course, the defensive players are protected under the rules as well. You're not allowed to shove them downfield. Elway getting outside, and I'm sure we won't see it here. I think what had happened is that Sampson had pushed off number 43, Ernest Gibson, downfield to get that big cushion. The official quickly threw the flag. That's not allowed. We didn't have the earlier part of that play, which would have shown it to us, I believe.
Back to the 49, 3rd and 21. Triple left. Sampson in tight on the right side. And they throw to Sampson. Laterals to Wilhite. And Bowman gets him out of bounds at the 24, but it's a 1st down, Denver.
Well, we talked about special plays, and there's one. The old hook and ladder play, the hook and toss. The Jets used this twice last week in their big comeback against Miami. Wilhite just getting a little toss to the outside. Jim Bowman, number 28, finally knocking him out of bounds, but they overcome the penalty and pick up the 1st down.
Elway to Sampson to Wilhite for 25 yards.
Look out.
Wilhite driving inside the 15-yard line. Fred Marion finally taking the punishment and getting his man to the ground on the Bulldog tackle. Another 1st down as Denver fans look for the lead.
Dick, I think if you showed films of the 1st half of this game and the 2nd half, you wouldn't believe the 2 halves were played on the same day.
1st down outside the 12 of New England. Gene Lang joins Sammy Winder in the backfield. This is Winder for a touchdown. He runs like his name. Sammy winding his way into the end zone with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. The Broncos late for the 1st time since back in the 1st quarter when Carlos kicked the field goal.
More effort than talent in the success of that young man. But boy, he gives you everything he has.
Ooh, trouble with the spot, but Carlos adds the extra point. 17-13, the Broncos lead. And they love it in Mile High Country. Two very impressive drives in this 3rd period. This one capping a 68-yard drive.
The Broncos felt they could run up inside of Blackman and Tippett, the big linebackers who are so dominant on the outside. Working inside, they were able to get up behind their center, Billy Bryant, Paul Howard in there. Good job of blocking by that Denver offensive line. Sammy Winder winds it into the end zone.
His 3rd rushing touchdown of this season. And suddenly a Denver team that sputtered both running and passing has gotten it going, especially on the ground.
So something that they could not do in the 1st half. The running game almost non-existent. But I'm sure that that's one of the things they talked about coming out. We've got to be able to run the football. If you can run the football, you can throw play action passes. You can run the football. You force those defensive linemen and linebackers to respect the running game. You get time for the passing game. Everything kind of works and flows together.
Fryer deep. Carlos is kicked high and deep. 5-yard deep, and Fryer won't risk the run back. Takes the ball at the 20. Well, in this third period, a 73-yard drive in 7 plays, a 68-yard march in 8. And in both occasions, they overcame major penalties on the way.
And I think that is significant to point out. And yesterday, Joe Collier said something that was interesting. He said, I love these close games. He said they bring out the best in us. And he said, I like the fact that we've got Elway on our side. He's at his best when the going is tough. And Elway has proved that here in the second half.
2:02 left in the third. Eason to Tupu, and he loses a yard. Mosey to Tupu, smothered by Ryan and Steve Wilson and Mecklenburg.
And this is when it gets tough for a team. This crowd can get into the game, get noisy to the point where it's difficult to hear the signals.
Morgan left, Fryer right. Straight ahead to Tutupu for only a couple. And on third and about 8, Dan Reeves sends in 4 fresh players looking for the pass.
Linebackers dominant here. You watch Jackson first try to slide inside, get off the block there of Weathers, and Mecklenburg also in on that play, came all the way around from the backside. Watch him here. He's in behind the play, doesn't quit, just keeps coming, and the two of them make a sandwich out of Mosi Tutupu.
Third and 8, the quick toss on the outside to Hawthorne, but not enough for a first down. Hit at the 25. Well covered by Tony Lilly. And the defense gets a standing ovation as they come off the field.
A swing of emotion so obvious as Denver appears to have finally gotten this crowd going. The juices going on their sideline. And literally 2 different teams in the way they've approached this game.
Camarillo to punt. Has had a good day. 10 men on the line of scrimmage. 1 man back. Will Hyde at his 29. But first, the quarter ends. The end of 3 in Denver. 17-13 Broncos. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
The movie Adam made history, but what happened next is even more incredible.
I can't lose another son.
Adam, his song continues Monday.
Why fool around with International Express delivery that's not express? Here comes the DHL Express document that is. Next day to Tokyo and Hong Kong. Documents leaving Los Angeles or San Francisco will arrive in Tokyo or Hong Kong on your recipient's next business day. And for only $29. Why waste any more time? Call DHL for the Express document. It's fast.
After panning for weeks in a river of gold, the miners were filled with mistrust. And then one morning, Wells Fargo arrived with an agent to weigh their dust. They crowded around as the scales were set. Each miner was honestly paid. Wells Fargo came through to protect their gold, and they're still coming through today.
Wells Fargo Bank, still coming through today.
This year, if you want your money to go further, you don't have to go far at all. Your local Subaru dealer has prices starting as low as $56.96. See your Southern California Subaru dealer.
Hot from Hollywood. Entertainment Tonight, weeknights at 7.
Standing room only here at Football Mad Denver. Mile High Stadium, 76,000 plus. They boo the few no-shows here. sold out for years and years, second only to the Washington Redskins loyalty to this game. Camarillo opens the fourth quarter with this punt and hits a high wobbly kick to Wilhite at his 30. Ooh. Broke a tackle from Tutupu and takes it all the way to the 48. An 18-yard return for Wilhite on a 45-yard punt.
Tempers flaring on the field. Tom Jackson bouncing around down there. He's still talking. He's been the emotional heart of this Denver defense for a lot of years. He's, what, the oldest linebacker in the game?
35 years old. He's 3 weeks older than Steve Nelson, the linebacker of the Patriots.
Well, two of the mainstays of a couple of defensive teams that have played well for a long time.
They have the ball more in the third quarter than they had the entire first half to Denver, and they've got it again.
That's what's called turning it around.
Elway on the draw to Gene Lang, trying to get outside. You know, what I admire most about this Denver team is, as we look at the other scores, they don't have the spectacular, other than Elway, offensive player. But everyone is so 100% straight ahead. I mean, they get you every inch you should want. I suppose that's a reflection on Reeves and the coaching staff.
You bet it is. You bet it is. They know that they have to win with execution.
Jets adding their lead. Otherwise, no change in the other scores. Here, it's been old Denver in the second half, rallying from 13-3 down to take the lead 17-3. Flag down, but so is Wilhite.
I think Garin Veras, though, was a little early on the count. Looked like he was over, and unless he was drawn off sides. And I see, McGrew, Lawrence McGrew, grabbing a hamstring and heading off to the side of the field.
Wilhite isn't getting up either. And now he's okay. Johnny Rembert, 52, replaces McGrew. In case you joined us late, starting right tackle of the New England Patriots, Steve Big House Moore, left the game with an injured knee. Will not play anymore today. Looked fairly serious.
Right defensive end, 5 yards and first down.
That was Veras.
Garin Veras just a little bit eager. You see him right there coming across the line, working on the head right there of Rimsberg, Dan Rimsberg, who's been in there replacing Dave Studdard, who's apparently suffering from the effects of having the flu all week. Rimsberg has handled himself pretty well in there.
He has indeed. From Abilene Christian, a free agent for the Chargers last year. First down at the New England 43. Reverse Sewell. And he's tackled at the 38-yard line. Steve Nelson.
Good reaction by Johnny Rembert, who went in there in place of Lawrence McGrew. Rembert usually plays on the passing downs. Great speed. And there's Steve Nelson. Linebacking crew in there, deep as well as talented for the Patriots. But right now, it's Denver's offense that has the spotlight, and the Patriots better get themselves back on fire.
Watson is wide to the right. Sampson in the slot. Winder behind Elway. Second down 5. Elway drills it to Watson. Another first down.
In the first half of this game, Elway couldn't buy a reception. And all of a sudden here in the second half, he's got it all turned around. Well, Dick, it's a good thing that this is not like baseball where you lift the pitcher and send him into shower.
You could hang the wash on that throw.
You sure can.
That was a clothesline. Sampson right, Watson left. Broncos dominating now. 12 and a half left in the game. 17-13 Denver. Winder gets away from Andre Tippett and has nearly 10 more. They're chewing up chunks.
They brought big Joey Hackett, the number 3 tight end, 265 pounds, in motion, and he cut on Andre Tippett's legs, cut him inside, springing the play outside. You see McGrew over there talking to this on the sideline. Raymond Berry asking some questions over there of his offense. What do we want to do now? Tony Eason resting up Yeah,
He's a very casual observer.
He is casual, no question about it. He doesn't get flapped in there.
Ken Bell comes in for Winder, who asked to come out. Double left, and then Sampson in motion. Elway wide open to Kay. 5, and Kay is to the 1. So they sent the 2 wide receivers deep to clear, brought the tight end underneath.
Way too much time for Elway as he's able to spot his tight end. Ernest Gibson in there as an extra cornerback. Going to make the stop. But look how open Clarence Kay is, all alone in this picture. And look at the way he attacks right there. Rock number 43, Ernest Gibson on his can, just short of the 1-yard line.
The others, but certainly a convincing one. 7 plays, 53 yards. Broncos moving the ball at will now here in the 4th quarter. Carlos adds the extra point. 10:39 left, and it's the Patriots that have to get busy now.
4 years ago, Ford Escort became the world's best-selling car. And over those years, we've improved its engine, suspension, and interior. There is one thing, however, we couldn't improve upon. For 4 years running, it's still the world's best-selling car. This is Escort.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Welcome to the new world, where all the rules have changed. A world of financial expertise to manage cash, build IRAs, finance mortgages, and a world of insurance protection for lives, health, and property. It's the world of the Travelers, one of America's strongest diversified insurance and financial experts. Have you looked under the Travelers umbrella lately?
You see, today is tomorrow in Japan. So when you come for car tomorrow, it will be today.
Life takes a time. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Take it to Midas.
At Midas, we can replace mufflers, brake shocks, or struts on most foreign cars, and we won't take all day to do it. Time is money.
Take it to Midas.
If I'd wanted it tomorrow, old chap, I wouldn't be here today.
Take it to someone you trust.
Today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by RCA, technology that excites the senses.
From the state capital of the grand state of Colorado. Mile high, and oh, are these fans up now as Gerald Wilhite has extended the lead to 24-13. Plenty of time, 10.5 minutes left. Carlos has really kicked off well. 2 yards deep. Fryer will take a chance. And does get it to the 20. Ricky Hundley. Here's the touchdown, and watch Wilhite right up over the back of his center. They just blocking straight ahead, and Rembert got a piece of him, but Wilhite able to nose it in for the score. Eason drilling it to Morgan. Harden wraps him up after a 10-yard play.
Irving
Fryer has it for 10 and a first down.
Fryer doing triple duty, not only regularly playing as a wide receiver, but also handling punts and punt returns.
First down of the second half for New England.
First down. Whoa. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at the change.
2 different games.
It looks like they changed uniforms at the half.
That's right. That's not snow. That's just confetti. These happy fans. Oh, Steve Wilson almost had himself a gift.
Dick, it's probably good to put this game in perspective for the Denver Broncos. Even though they were 3-0 coming in, there were a lot of people said, hey, you haven't been tested yet. Your opponents are 0-9. They have lost every game they played, even though that one of those teams was the Raiders who've beaten Denver many times. And yet, even though Denver said this is the toughest test that we're going to have, they have won the games they were expected to win. They've beaten their arch rival, the Raiders, and here they are proving themselves against the toughest team they've met yet, the New England Patriots.
Some feel the best team in the AFC. Eason just did get away once, and now Ricky Hundley a foot away from an intercept as Rulon Jones hit Eason.
Rulon Jones and Reuben Carter both there to force Eason. And Eason, who was able to do so well in the first half, not getting time in the second half. And what a different game it can be for a quarterback when the heat is on. Rulon Jones on his feet right there, still scrambling. A piece of him right there from the backside, and that ball flapping away.
Well, that's a good second effort by Jones. 3rd and 10. Jones again chasing Eason and others. And that's complete to Cedric Jones. And it appears enough for a first down, and a gutsy throw by Eason. Boy, the hounds were all over him.
They were baying, barking as they came after him. But Eason kept his cool, and that's something that Grogan mentioned to me before the game. He said Eason really has learned to use his mobility. Look at that, drop the ball before he could get out of there. Things are not going well for Eason. But look at him here. The heat is on. Still finds a man and gets him the football. Heady play.
At the 42. New England first down. 9 minutes left in the game. 24-13 Broncos on 3 touchdowns in the second half by Denver. Eason not close to Craig James. Well, the Broncos have done one thing defensively, and that's take away Stanley Morgan, who has been so red hot. Morgan indeed does have a 5-yard touchdown catch, but other than that, he has 1 for 9 and 1 for 5, 2 catches, 14 yards. He's been burning the other 3 teams that New England has played.
Dick, as a defense, you look at an offensive team, you look at their film, and you say, who do we have to take away from them? There's no question coming in here. Morgan was the #1 guy on that list. And you're right, they have done an excellent job.
Look at that shifting by that Denver defense. 2nd and 10. Reverse. They didn't fool the oldest linebacker in the NFL.
And look at that smile. Boy, I'll tell you, you can see all the teeth on that one as Jackson is all smile coming off that field, and I don't blame him.
He's a co-host of the Denver Bronco television show each week. I bet they'll play that one a time or two next week.
Watch him as he'll come to the outside. He is responsible for containment. Cedric Jones, 83, coming around. The old statue play to Eason. But Jackson, who had the containment, did his job and did it well.
Yeah, the Fox was right there. 3rd and 17. Eason. Rulon Jones.
Eason's hurt. Eason is hurt.
And look at Jones. He's going back to see about Eason. As much as he's happy about the sack, he's concerned, and that's a nice sportsmanlike gesture. He did nothing out of the ordinary except sack the man that he's assigned to get, but concerned nevertheless, and that I like that.
He came down hard, and Eason was kind of bent up underneath him. It was a scary play, and I'm sure frightened Eason more than anyone. Trainer Ron Ron O'Neal out there quickly to check with the quarterback. Watch the end of this play. A tremendous rush inside. Rulon Jones has him, doubles him up, and Eason's head bent underneath Jones. I don't think Rulon knew right there what had happened until he got the chance to look back at Eason to see him sitting on the ground. And that's good news as Eason is up and moving.
There was a moment in that replay, Merlin, when he shot through as if somebody had just blasted him out of a cannon.
He's just coming off an injury. Tore a rib cartilage against the Raiders, first game of the season. So this is the first chance he's had to be healthy, and that's been bad news, at least here in the second half, for the New England Patriots.
He was a Pro Bowler last year for the first time, and I think the rest of the National Football League is now starting to recognize that number 75 Jones is one of the best pass rushers in the game. 7:48 left. Wilhite with another chance to return. He's done well today. Flat kick, short. Wilhite at the 34. To Tupu. And down at the 40 is Wilhite, but Denver has the ball and an 11-point lead with 7.5 minutes left.
Who has transformed video cameras, making them more compact, simpler, more colorful, more fun? Who? RCA, with the new Pro Wonder camcorder, the camera and recorder that uses standard VHS cassettes plus solid-state technology for brighter, more colorful memories. Pro Wonder. If you settle for less than RCA, that's exactly what you'll get.
You're about to see one of the many things this Ford Taurus can hold. It's called the Road. Ford designed the Taurus wagon to handle confidently and to respond with precision. Because you should get more out of a wagon than what you put into it. This is Taurus.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Not everyone got a vacation this summer.
I need a vacation. What do you need, some glasses? How many fingers can you see? I need a vacation.
This fall, you can still get great low fares to more places on the biggest bargain airline, United.
I got a vacation.
Have a nice shower, Picorni.
And I'm not just flying. I'm flying friendly skies.
I'm out of there.
An American tradition continues. They are baseball's most acclaimed hitmen. Don Mattingly and Wade Boggs have captured the last 3 American League batting titles. Next Saturday, these two swingers go eye to eye for the 86th crown as the Yankees battle the Red Sox or the Braves meet the Astros. The tradition is here. The memories are waiting.
Different kind of hitters here in Denver, and that is a statistic that Dan Reeves said I'm going to watch very carefully. I want to outsack the opposition, and he's a +4 today.
How well you protect your quarterback and how much heat you put on the opposition quarterback. The scale has certainly tipped in Denver's favor, in particular in the second half.
Elway goes to work and hands off. Sammy Winder, 4, 5, 6 yards before they can push him back. Denver now in control of this game in the fourth quarter with the ball. Let's go to NFL 86.
Thanks, Dick. The Jets have had their own way at the Hoosier Dome today against the Colts here in the fourth quarter. It's Ken O'Brien, 17 yards to Kurt Sohn. The Jets are cruising with a 23-0 lead. They'll be 3-1 with a victory, and if Denver holds on in the game you're broadcasting, the Jets will be the only team in the AFC East with a winning record.
Yeah, we knew at the start, Bob, the East and the West so highly competitive. Jets in the catbird seat at the moment as Denver continues to work on the ground. Winder nailed that time by Garen Veras, number 60.
One has to wonder whether the Denver Broncos are willing to try and sit on that lead, or are they going to get conservative at this point, coming out with 2 running plays back to back. I know they'd love to control the ball by running the football, and certainly have run well in this second half. If they can do that, they can eat the clock. It looks like Elway is going to be forced to maybe go up on top out of the shotgun here.
3rd and 4. He's got Wilhite with him. Rocky over the middle to Sewell, and a first down. 7 yards, and the Broncos have another 4 downs, and the clock is now under 6 minutes.
We talked about Sewell's multiple positions, swinging it out from the motion position to catch that pass. Big first down.
Understand in that Raider game, Mark Wilson has been sacked 8 times by the Chargers, but the Raiders defense has also made life tough on Dan Fouts, and the Raiders trying for their first win, lead 14-13. Elway now has moved his marks up. He's hit 50% of his passes, 16 for 32. Winder. Good defensive play by Bowman. Bounce him out of bounds back at the 48-yard line, no gain.
They continue to bring Clarence Kay in motion, swing him around and attack those big outside linebackers. Kay doing a good job of getting on the legs of Don Blackman on that particular play, but quick response from the linebacker, or from the cornerback, kept that from going anywhere.
Clock stopped with that last tackle. Play going out of bounds. 5 minutes, 14 seconds. Both sides with all timeouts left.
For New England, you got to be thinking takeaway, turnover right here.
They stay on the ground to Wilhite. Low tackle by number 25, Vincey Glenn. 5 yards on the play. Glenn, rookie from Indiana State, a second-round pick. Number 25 in white of the Patriots. His dad coached 16 years at Grambling under Eddie Robinson. He was Robinson's defensive coordinator, so he comes from good training.
It's in the genes, right?
Yep. You know, so many of the New England coaches are sons of coaches, and players are. It's an interesting story that seems to follow this New England club. Raymond Berry himself, his dad, a very successful high school coach in Texas.
Steve Nelson, another one.
Big play, 3rd and 6. Over the middle again to Sewell. And another first down. And the Broncos continue to come up with a big play. Needed 6, got 8.
One has to wonder, Dick, at how much they miss Roland James in there. James out with a toe injury, usually playing one of those safety positions. Of course, now sitting on the sideline. Not one of those men, but you kind of get a feeling for the way the emotion has gone out of that New England sideline. But you got to know that that hurts the performance of that defensive secondary.
Meanwhile, Denver has not given up the ball on a possession in this half, have they? Seems like every time they've had it, they've marched to a score. One punt. One time they didn't. Winder inside, wrapped up on a good low tackle by Mike Ruth. 6'1" and 266, Boston College All-American.
He can't hide those biceps, can he?
He has his upper torso. We saw him yesterday, and I ran out of the locker room. I mean, he is just, I've never seen muscle on muscle.
They say he has a great attitude, too, and I'm sure he's thrilled to get a chance to play. Did not get on the field last week, but has a lot of learning to do.
3:06, 3:05 left. Denver in command. Winder caught in the backfield, but was Nelson offside?
It looked like Nelson was a little bit eager on that play, trying to guess with the count. Penetrated, made the tackle. You better make it if you're offside. You don't want to let him go.
Watch Nelson, see the linebacker easing up in there and just missed.
Defense on the nose guard. Still first down.
Actually, they said that Ruth was offside.
They called Ruth as being offside. I'll tell you what happens to you, Dick. Very often you'll see movement out of the corner of your eye. And especially an inexperienced player will assume that the ball has been snapped. Ruth may have gone as he saw Nelson crowd up into the inside there.
Ball now inside the 30-yard line. Clock running, 2:45 left. 2nd down and 5. What an incredible turnabout in this game. New England, and this is Elway. This is his experience. He knows he has a lot of time in the 30-second clock, and he's just chewing up some added time. Winder finally brought down at the 21. Another first down. Fred Marion with a tackle. 9 more yards. And of that total of 155 yards for the Broncos, Winder has 88. As the clock ticks down to the 2-minute timeout.
AT&T, the right choice. The Chargers trail the Bengals by 7 in the fourth quarter. Needing a big play, will they go to veteran superstar receivers like Charlie Joyner or Wes Chandler, or will they surprise the Bengals with the unexpected? What would you do?
This is a cover story taking shape for Time magazine, but late-breaking news stops the presses. Time puts AT&T Skynet digital service into action. Via satellite, a new cover story is transmitted instantly, accurately, and rolls off the presses in under 24 hours. Let us show you how AT&T digital services can help your business. AT&T, the right choice.
What did you decide? San Diego selects 5'6" Lionel James, who delivers a spectacular 60-yard touchdown that spurs the comeback victory. The Chargers made the right choice.
John Elway, the most publicized rookie to come into the NFL since Joe Namath arrived out of Alabama in 1965. He went through some torturous times as a rookie and even into his sophomore year. But now in his 4th season, Elway is a force.
It doesn't seem like they really believe in him totally in the stands here, though. You notice in the first half,
they got down.
They were getting down on him, but they've come back in the second half. A little bit fickle, I think, from some of the fans. And Elway will say it. He said, you know, I played on teams where I had great stats and we lost. He said, here I don't have that great of stats, but we're winning, and I know I'm contributing. Which is more important? Well, I can tell you what Dan Reeves will answer to that question.
And what Reeves told us yesterday, that this year, for the first time, Elway really comes back to the sidelines with his own input. He has ideas.
Talking more about what he thinks will work on the field. Again, that's confidence, a growing confidence from Elway.
Not so mechanical. First down, 2 minutes left. Winder with a possible chance at a 100-yard day. Gets just 2 on that carry.
Quick timeout by the Patriot defense. Dick, we talked about the importance of this game to Denver. Let's talk about what this loss does to New England.
Well, they'll become a 2-2 team. The Jets apparently are going to win, go 3-1. Buffalo and Miami are at 1-3, so that's still a toss-up over in the East. No one really taking charge. But here in the West, Denver now has a good length on the rest of the tough teams in the AFC West.
And Dan Reeves, remembering so well that last year New England went to the playoffs, he said one of the things we want to do is beat them in head-to-head competition. If it comes down to the same records this year, then one of the first tiebreakers is head-to-head competition. Hey, we win this game, would be our turn to go if the records were the same.
Well, next Sunday, we'll see how New England recovers. Merlin and I will be in Foxborough to see 2 teams coming off a loss, the Dolphins and Patriots. Tangle at Foxborough and a sellout crowd there. The Raiders will be at Kansas City. Chiefs are 3-1 now. Raiders trying to beat the Chargers to get their first W. Cincinnati at Green Bay, trying to lick the wounds after the Bear loss today. A lot of Bengal fans thought they're going to beat the world champions. Cleveland will be at Pittsburgh, always a tough game. Houston at Detroit. Those are our early games. And then late on NBC, Buffalo and the Jets, Indianapolis and San Francisco. The 49ers with a big win anytime you beat Don Shula in the Orange Bowl. And that's the first time Shula has ever lost a home game in September in the Orange Bowl. He was 18-0.
Whoa. You think he's going to be mad when he gets to New England next week?
We'll find out. Winder back to the line of scrimmage to 19. Tonight, it's homecoming week on NBC. No better place to be than Our House, starring Wilfred Brimley and Deidre Hall in Easy Street Moves to Sunday. Take a stroll down Easy Street, starring Lonnie Anderson, Jack Elam, Lee Weaver. That'll be every Sunday now on NBC. And then on the season premiere of Valerie, Mark shows the family a side of him that no one's ever seen before, revealing Valerie tonight, and then intimate encounters. So please stay with us on NBC. Timeout, 1:47 left.
We designed the Ford Escort GT with an advanced port fuel-injected engine. Next, we added a more precise cornering front and rear suspension, along with a carefully selected interior. And we did it all just for fun. This is Escort GT.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Families have come to us.
They believe in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Our house is special to us, so we shopped around for homeowners insurance.
Liberty Mutual gave us the right protection at the right price. We believe in liberty.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
They wait, they stalk, and they shake the desert sands, all team together to do one thing: win. Bill Elliott and his Coors-smelling Thunderbird, Tom the Mongoose McEwen and his Coors funny car, and Ivan the Iron Man Stewart's Coors off-road champion. When the smoke clears, Coors is the one.
Oh, the dilemma of choosing the right pregame show. She demands predictions, he the latest scoop. We in NBC Sports suggest you put as much thought into selecting a pregame show as you did when choosing your friends. Possibly more. NFL 86, the one you'll choose.
Saw Paul Smith after the ceremonies last night, the great defensive end into that ring of fame, along with Charlie Johnson, the crusty quarterback, and Frank Tribuco was the very first Denver quarterback. Third down play, 1:39 left, and a little push and shove.
Another timeout quickly called, and there's a lot of frustration brewing on the New England side of the line of scrimmage, not only from their inability to keep their momentum into the second half, but also remembering that they gave a game away last week. 2 weeks in a row, they should have been able to put people away. Seattle coming from behind with big plays in the final minutes to overcome a 10-point deficit, and of course today a 10-point deficit at halftime. The Broncos completely dominating the second half of play here.
You just could not see a more complete reversal of play than New England in the first half. They were not as dominant in the first half as Denver has been in the second, but Denver was ineffective and then suddenly seemingly can do nothing wrong. Here's Carlos, apparently to try a field goal on fourth down with 1:39 left. Now a field goal really doesn't do that much for the Broncos except give them a 2-touchdown lead, but if they should run a play, of course, and stop shy of the first down, then New England is going to have the clock stopped anyway and change of possession.
I always hated it when you asked the coaches how they were going to go about winning a game, and they'd say we got to play 4 quarters. But you know, it's true. You can't just play 2 quarters of good football and walk off and say, gee, we got them now.
This apparently a 34-yard attempt by Carlos, who started the scoring today with a 44-yarder. Is it good? Yes. Just inside that left upright. For a 14-point lead, 1:34 left, and New England without a timeout.
Raymond Claiborne out there arguing with the official. He didn't think it was good.
Oh, so close. Overtime now, Atlanta and Tampa Bay, as Luckhurst kicked a field goal, 34-yarder, the final play of regulation to tie at Tampa Bay, as Atlanta trying to go 4-0. 2 of the unbeatens losing for the first time today, Seattle to Washington, and the Rams upset by Philadelphia. A third could have been Atlanta, but they're still alive. Denver trying to go 4-0 along with Chicago and Washington. If Atlanta should succeed, it'll be the first time in their 21-year history they've started the season 4-0. We're a quarter away, 4 games through this 1986 season, and as we expected, it is so competitive. I think especially on the American Conference side that we're not going to see anyone run away. Carlos skids it Johnny Rembert, the linebacker, takes it to the 39. Clock stops at 1:28.
And Eason, who had been injured, is back out on the field and all right, and that is good news. The one thing you know, Dick, it's going to be a long season. And in spite of the fact that the Patriots will have dropped 2 quick games to put them at 500, they are still an excellent football team, and there's a lot of football left to go in this year. I'll tell you what, though, I think they're already kind of thinking ahead to Miami next week.
And of course, that's doubly important because it's within their division. Eason under pressure again, dumps it off. Craig James can't get out of bounds, or can he? No. Bulldog down. This is rodeo country. Ken Woodard able to keep him in bounds.
They wind the clock. Patriots will try and get back and go without a huddle. Just a matter of time now. 107, 106.
Stanley Morgan to the right. 2 wide receivers to the left. 1 minute left. Eason incomplete. Aimed it towards Cedric Jones. Well, Stanley Morgan has his string of 100-yard receiving games stopped at 4. He was going for something that hadn't been done in 20 years since Lance Allworth went 5 straight games with 100 yards, and Denver's defense allowed him only 2 short catches, one for the only New England touchdown of the day, but he not able to get deep, get the big gainer. Third down 4. Can't get Eason. The long throw. Oh, that should be interference, and is. Louis Wright climbing on the back of Cedric Jones, and there's the reminder right at his backside.
You see it so often when the quarterback is able to pull away from the sack attempt, as in that case Mecklenburg.
Number 20, first down.
Quarterback has time. Those speedy receivers are going to get open downfield.
This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Denver Broncos and National Football League is prohibited. That penalty serving doubly well to the Patriots because it stops the clock as well. Patrick Bolin, the 42-year-old triathlete owner of the Denver Broncos, has to be pleased with what he's watched today.
Dan Reeves certainly pleased at the kind of support he gets from Patrick Bolin.
Into the end zone for Morgan. Is he? Nope, out of bounds is the call. Did not get both feet in. Stanley Morgan trying to cut it thin in that far corner. Could not quite get both feet in.
He knows how to do it. He did it 3 times last week, but only once this week on a very short pass right at the back of the end zone. 1 foot down, 2nd foot in the white.
.41 seconds left. Quick throw.
Whoops.
Collins trying the fake lateral to Beatty, but has to eat it with his 9th catch. He had 8 in the first half, and that's his first in the second.
These 2 teams are sharing the same playbook this week. Not the same results, though.
Beatty, the tight end, does not get out of bounds, and I believe that'll be the last play of the game. 10 seconds showing. So many people to thank today, especially men down in the truck. John Libretto, Kenneth Roy Edmondson, coordinating producer Ted Nathanson, Michael Weissman. Last play of the game to Fryer. Does it count? No, out of bounds is the call. The game is over. The Broncos remain unbeaten. Now they're saying touchdown. Now another official comes in and says that is a touchdown.
I think what they're saying is he would have come down in the end zone if he hadn't been pushed out of bounds. Well, it's only for a matter of pride anyway. They're not going to win the game. They will get a few more points on the board.
That'll make it a 27-19 score, as Irving Fryer has his first touchdown catch of the season.
New England doing a good job of getting that ball snapped with very little time left in the game. Here's the end of that play. Well, we saw the last of it as he was pushed out of the end zone, and one of the officials who was looking down the line said that was indeed a touchdown.
And the ball game is over, unusually on an extra point by the losing team. The Denver Broncos, one of a few left that are unbeaten, and what a comeback in the second half to defeat the New England Patriots 27-20. A ground game and a passing game that sputtered the first 30 minutes, and it found itself at home in the second half. We'll be back at Mile High Stadium with some final comments right after this.
Forging, fitting up, hand finishing. Exacting standards that say nothing is complete until it's right. One beer is brewed with these same values. Budweiser. The most expensive ingredients. Exclusive beechwood aging for a clean, crisp taste. Because this Bud's for you. The first look will move you with revealing shapes that reveal even more about the overall design. But there's an inner design that can only be felt when these cars are actually driven. This is Ford today, designed to move you like never before.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
27-20. Denver goes 4-0. Their best start since their Super Bowl year of '77. Time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. Today's MVP is Sammy Winder of the Broncos. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's game. 90 yards rushing for Winder. They were able to establish that ground game you talked about at halftime, Merlin Olsen. That set up everything else.
It certainly did, and tribute to the comeback ability of this Denver team. They reversed things by sheer effort in the second half. Got to be a concern to Raymond Berry that his troops, who have been dominant in the first half of the games the last 2 weeks, have not been able to hang on, have not played that kind of football in the second half.
So Denver goes 4-0. Seattle losing for the first time at Washington 3-1. Kansas City 3-1. San Diego and the Raiders, no final as yet. The Raiders were leading by 1 in the fourth quarter at the Coliseum. For Merlin Olsen, Dick Enberg, stay tuned for our house, the Broncos, and the orange-clad fans here in Mile High Country pleased with a 27-20 win.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines, serving 13 cities in Asia and the Pacific. United, a fresh breeze across the Pacific.
This has been a presentation of NBC Sport.
On A&E. This program is brought to you in part by Ramada. Next time, get the all-star treatment from your hotel. Next time, Ramada. Call 1-800-2-RAMADA.